right. I love music. I am not musical. I cannot play an instrument. I cannot sing. But music enriches my life, and it's a big part of my life. I listen to music while I work. I listen to music while I relax. I listen to music while I drive. I wish I could speak that special language, but I just can't, and I've accepted that. I think when I watch someone perform music, it doesn't take long before I'm wishing I was up there performing music with them, and I know that's never going to happen, and that's okay, but I think my feelings about music are what drew me to this story. The Music Inside Charlie Buckins by Carter Medina. Is Carter here? Fantastic. Charlie Buckins was born to two of the greatest musicians of all time. Mr. and Mrs. Buckins traveled the world playing their French horn and xylophone. Charlie always had tunes playing in the back of his head, but he had no way to get them out from his mind and go onto his instrument. Charlie picked up his cello and bow, and this is all that came out. Rear, 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 screech. Is that how you imagined it? At school, Charlie Buckins was called the tornado drill. He drug his cello around everywhere he went, trying to play better, but it was no use. The cello just kept on saying, rear, 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 screech. Charlie's teacher, Miss Porkbelly, said, "Stop all that rubbish. We will call your parents at once. I bet your parents will be completely humiliated by your screeching music." Everyone stared at Charlie, who had been pulled to the front of the classroom by his ear. Charlie was now terrified and embarrassed. He passed out in front of the class. When he woke up, he noticed that the classroom was empty. He walked out into the hall and heard loud tones coming from room 907. The melody sounded like it was singing, "Charlie, Charlie." Goosebumps shot up all over his body. He walked into the room and saw a cello floating in the air. The music suddenly started to crescendo, and then suddenly, on the last stroke of the bow on the C string, the lights went out. Kabonk. Charlie was paralyzed by fear, and then he saw the bow glow and move up and down. Suddenly, the flutes and horns and timpanis began to play what sounded like the melody from the Hall of the Mountain King. The music got louder and louder until the bow said, "Quiet." The music stopped, and the bow said, "Do not be scared of us, Charlie Buckins." "How do you know my name?" whispered Charlie with his eyes wide open. The bow said, "Charlie, you were born to play great music, but your music is hiding inside the dark shadows of doubt. You need try harder." "But I practice all the time," said Charlie. "Well, you certainly are thinking too hard about the correct notes and not feeling the music," said the bow. "You need to come with me to get the great music into your heart and out of your brain." The room began to spin faster and faster. When it stopped, everything was quiet, absolutely quiet. Then the bow said, "Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Austria, home of the great Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart." "Oh, I know who he is. Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star is one of my favorite songs to play." "That's the only song that I know," said Charlie. Charlie was astonished to find a little boy his age sitting in the corner playing a tiny keyboard. He walked to the corner of the room and watched as Mozart scribbled away on music paper. Charlie watched in amazement as the little boy wrote pages and pages of music. "How do you get so inspired to write so much music?" "Oh, well, I just listen to my heart and write what it's saying," said Mozart. "You should try it. Do you want to write a line with me?" "Oh, I don't know how to write music," said Charlie. "It's simple. Just close your eyes and think of what your feelings would sound like if the world only spoke in music." "Okay, I'll try it," said Charlie. He closed his eyes and thought of his mom and dad returning from being gone on long trips playing concerts all over the globe. This was his favorite thought. Then he hummed a tune that made the birds stop singing, the squirrels stop scurrying, and cows stop mooing. Suddenly, the room started to spin. When he opened his eyes, he was in his classroom, and the school nurse and his mom and dad were crowded over him. His mom and dad had tears on their face and smiled. "Charlie, you were humming the beautiful tune Inside Your Sleep," said his dad. "Do you realize that the kids stopped working, the teachers stopped writing on the chalkboards, and the janitor stopped sweeping the halls, all to hear you sing?" After this day, Charlie Buckins had no problem getting the music to come from his heart and not his brain.